Hey everyone, welcome back. There's huge thunderstorm, so if you hear all of a sudden there's boom, bada boom, then it's me. Hopefully internet is gonna be fine and stable. My next guest is Vibin, and I'm excited to talk to him about just doing SEO at scale. Vibin is a digital marketing lead at a company called Freshworks, a big company, definitely heard of them. Vibin, excited to have you join us here.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Natalie.
All right, go ahead and take it away.
All right, I am quickly gonna share my screen. Okay. Yes. Okay. I hope you guys can see my screen. Okay. Natalie, are we good to go?
We are good to go.
Perfect. So, like Natalie mentioned, I lead digital marketing at this company called Freshworks, and today I am gonna share my journey of working in B2B SaaS and how I sort of uh, uh, go through the journey of doing SEO for them. Okay. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the challenges that we face at scale, right? So, having worked with multiple companies through the 0 to 1 journey, and also having worked with a company in the 1 to 10 journey, purely from a marketing maturity point of view, uh, what I kind of have gotten to understand is, hey, while the tactics and the skills sort of remain the same, uh, doing SEO for a 0 to 1 stage sort of marketing maturity and then 1 to 10 sort of maturity is super different, right? For instance, uh, when you when you want to do SEO for a company that is at 0 to 1 stage, right? What do? You probably talk to the product owners first. You talk to the product management team. You probably talk to the sales team, get an idea of what the product is, understand the different keywords that people sort of use to search, and also get an idea of who the competitors are. Do the keyword research, get a complete list of keywords that you can go after. uh, then you probably understand the backlink landscape, and you also understand, hey, what do we currently have on our website, and then you go ahead and create content, right? When you're starting off at the 0 to 1 stage, opportunities are available right in front of you, right? There's there's search volume to be taken, there's content to be created, there is optimization that could be done, and everything that you're doing, you're able to see that it's making a visible impact, either in terms of the domain rate, the domain authority going up, or the impressions going up, or you starting to see increased rankings, or you starting to see increased traffic, right? And you do all of that. Now let's probably get to that stage where, hey, all of these things are done, you've started to see some results, and you're seeing that, hey, people within your company are taking SEO seriously, and they are giving you all the muscle power that you need to sort of scale this function, right? What do then? You again go ahead and create more content. You ensure that your website is in order to sort of achieve all your SEO goals, right? You create amazing page templates. You ensure that your UI is great, your UX is great, your uh, site is as fast as it could be. You do all of that, right? You fix all your audit issues, your site errors, your technical errors. You do all of that, and what happens after you go beyond that stage, right? That's when you actually come on head to head with the challenges of scale. You are then looking for new opportunities. Hey, where do I look at for scale, right? Where What are my new keywords that I want to go after? You're looking for it. The second thing that you're looking for is, hey, I've already built my um, set of backlinks that I could build, or I've tried to uh, create content that'll get me from the major websites that I want to get backlinks from, or you contribute to certain blogs, and as a guest author, right? You do all of that. But in this stage, you want to look at building backlinks at scale. So how do you create content that will enable you to create those backlinks at scale? And you also sort of tend to realize, hey, I mean, up until this point, it was more to do with my tactics and with my skills. But at scale, you realize it is also about discipline, right? Do you have a discipline towards content optimization? Do you have a discipline towards link building? Do you have a discipline towards figuring out newer opportunities? So when it you also realize, hey, with all of this, what is also important is the problems remain the same, right? But the solutions required could be a little different, which means you have to look at the same problem from a different perspective to sort of figure out those solutions. I think, as any good SEO might know, the answer to most questions when you ask an SEO is it depends, right? So definitely at scale, a lot of things change, and it depends on the context. And you also need to look at the same problem in multiple different ways. So where am I coming with all of this, right? I spoke about discipline. I spoke about looking at the same problem in different ways. I'm looking at uh, uh, probably saying that, hey, I mean, uh, the problems that you're facing right now would be different in the future, right? So what do we need? We don't need tactics and skills, because if you don't have that, you probably not get to that 1 to, I mean, that stage, right? 1 to 10 stage, you're not going to get there. So because you've already done that, what we need right now is those frameworks, is those mental models that will help us figure out problems and then also resolve them and scale, right? We also want to be super proactive, so that we are able to catch hold of problems and then resolve it even before they occur. So that is what we're going to get to. And the main things that we'll talk about today is 5 different mental models that I use every day, and that has definitely helped me in this journey of handling a huge website and handling scale, right? Two things that you need to keep in mind with respect to SaaS SEO is, most SaaS companies tend to be product led, right? And when I say product led, your the traffic that you're bringing in has to amount to something. And in most cases, your goals tends to be organic traffic with the leads that you're able to get there. That could be in terms of signups, or that could be in terms of demos or email collects. Okay, so that is something that you need to keep in mind before we progress to the next slides. Okay, with that, I'm gonna get to my first model, or the first framework that we can talk about. uh, Before that, for folks who don't know what a mental model is, a mental model is nothing but a framework, or a, so to say, a meta thought that gives you the tools or existing thought process in order to make your decisions better. Okay, it helps in better decision making. It is a worldview that exists, and you can apply this worldview to different problems that you face in life. Okay, right now we are going to take these different mental models from different aspects of life and then use it towards SEO. That's what we are going to do. I am going to head to the first framework or mental model. The first thing is demand fulfillment versus demand generation. Okay, what do I mean by that, right? Time and time again, I meet good SEOs forget that, hey, SEO or search is a demand fulfillment channel, right? Which means people are searching for it. There are existing search volumes. And what we're doing is trying to fulfill that demand by being present in the SERP. So we want, people are asking questions, people have queries, and we're just fulfilling that demand. Okay. And there are channels that could purely help in demand generation, right? And you, when you think of demand generation, obviously the lens in which you think is, hey, people are already hanging out there, and I can generate demand by hanging out in places that people are hanging out in. Okay, a good example would be um, Facebook. People are there to connect with their friends, and because you know that people are hanging out there, you then create your own ads there, right? Same thing with a billboard. You probably would see billboards in really busy roads, and that is a way of generating demand. Okay, and why is this differentiation important for an SEO, right? It is important for an SEO because you obviously need to take that thought process of, hey, I need to fulfill this demand, which is my primary goal, but also keep in mind that, hey, can I use whatever I'm creating in order to generate demand? Or does the I mean, the all the content that I create, do they have a demand generation sort of an intent? Which means, can I use these content pieces or whatever that I'm creating purely, sorry, purely to generate demand, is the question that you need to continuously ask. And that will ensure that any content that you're creating, the distribution channel is just not SEO, but you can also have other distribution channels like social and email and whatnot, right? So I think that is a super important framework that you need to keep in mind while you're looking at scale, because when you're creating something, you want to make maximum use of it, and that is something that I would absolutely stand by. Okay.
Vibin, really quick, we only have about 4 minutes left, so try and wrap it up within this time, please.
Absolutely. Perfect. So, okay. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is systems over goals. Uh, I mean, this is a framework that I've gotten from Scott Adams, right? So, simply put, if you want to lose weight, let's say you want to lose 10 kilos, you can, that is your goal, right? You want to lose 10 kilos. What do you do after you lose 10 kilos? You go back to your old routine. But instead, imagine you have a system to say that, hey, I will work out 30 minutes a day and I'm not going to take in any sugar. That means your system is so strong that you will continue to do it even after you have achieved your goals. That's the same thing that we need to do with SEO as well, right? Our job as SEOs isn't over as soon as we get to rank number one on the SERP. We definitely need to do a lot of work to ensure that we are in page number one. So always think systems over goals. That is a super important sort of a framework that you need to keep in mind. Perfect. With that, we are going to get to our third sort of a framework or a mental model, which is MISI, which is mutually exclusive and collectively exhaustive. Uh, the major thing that big sites face is a huge problem of keyword cannibalization, right? That is purely because you are not aligned with your content teams, and or the keyword research that you've done isn't proper. Okay, so what you need to ensure is all the content that you're creating is mutually exclusive, but when you put it together, it's collectively exhaustive. So there is a theme, you have sub themes, and all of these sub themes put together should sort of contribute to the team. And there should be no overlap between the sub themes. This way, you ensure that there is no keyword cannibalization, and you're also not duplicating any efforts in terms of content. This is absolutely must. This will definitely help you save a lot of time when your site grows beyond a certain uh, size. Perfect. With that, this is a rule that all of us know, which is the 80-20 rule. I will directly jump in and say, hey, there are 20 percentage of keywords that is absolutely essential for 80 percentage of your results. And that is something that you absolutely need to keep in mind. You need to have separate tracking for those 20 percentage of the keywords. You need to have a separate optimization schedule for these 20 percentage of the keywords, and you also need to have special dashboards and activities to ensure that you are not dropping in these 20% of the keywords that contribute to 80% of the results. On the flip side, I would also look at, uh, hey, am I being dependent on 20% of the pages to get 80% of my traffic? I am actively looking for opportunities in which I can sort of like spread out the risk so that one page dropping in rankings uh, won't put a huge dip on my traffic numbers. So that is something that, as at scale, you need to be constantly thinking about. At times there aren't possibilities wherein you can split that traffic, but then you obviously need to actively think about it. Awesome. With that, I'm gonna get to the last sort of thing that I have, the model that I have, which is step change. Okay. Again, like I said, when you're doing all of the optimizations, when you're thinking about all of this, you've done everything, right? So whatever you're doing, you're seeing small changes, you're optimizing. But imagine you need to have a step change, right? The change that you had when you were starting out your SEO journey from 0 to 1. What do you do in that case? In that case, you need to look for these step change opportunities, right? So purely in terms of SEO, there are two ways of doing SEO. One is content led, wherein you create your own content. The second is inventory led, right? Inventory led is the approach that most companies take, like let's say Amazon or even Zapier for that matter, right? The more apps that Zapier gets on and integrates between each other, the more pages it's able to create. In the SaaS world, it by default all products have have that inventory model sort of tied into them, purely because any SaaS tool has to integrate with other products, and then you can create a templatized inventory which can then grow as you integrate with more products. That's a super important this thing as well, framework as well, because that will enable you to scale with in a much faster way rather than creating newer content. This is a template that could be repeated in a super fast manner. So with that, we have come to the end of the session, and I am always available on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Clubhouse by the same name. Uh, Thanks a lot for having me. I'm also open to any questions in case you have anything uh, surrounding this topic. I will also share the deck with Natalie in case any of you guys uh, want to take a look at it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We have a couple of thank yous and comments here. I apologize. I'm not sure if it's really sound is really bad. It's raining, it's pouring here. I don't know if you can hear it. Type it in the chat. Really want to know if you can hear it or not. I'm using a special microphone, so hopefully it's not too bad. Vibin, thank you so much. Everyone, I'll see you in the next session.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.